Hi, I'm Sarah Barghigian. Welcome to your yoga practice with me today. Before we actually begin, I want to give a big thank you to Jill Rivers, one of our patrons, who announced on her Facebook page yesterday that I've nearly got 1,000 subscribers, and that then led to quite a few of her friends and colleagues to subscribing. So we're now almost at 1,000 subscribers at this time. Here we are on the 31st of December 2020. So hopefully as you watch this, we're over 1,000. So thank you, Jill. If you're interested in becoming a patron like Jill is, please do have a look at the comments box below. I've just added some extra benefits. So do have a look at that, and you might be interested in getting more support from me. So let's begin our class. This is a class dedicated to the concept of Shri. Now, if you come to my weekly classes, I'll let you know more about the history of that. But for now, this being a shorter class, Shri means beauty, abundance, grace, brilliance, power. It's also quite explosive. I have a list here: splendour, elegance, majesty, grace, dignity. It's kind of like a supernova. It's like a star exploding out. There's power and kind of like a firework which has been designed to uplift and shoot up high. It also has that brilliance and sparkle and shine. So I want to introduce this idea of bringing in Shri into the ordinary. At this time of year, here we are on the last day of the year, people are often thinking of ways that they want to improve or things that they want to give up in the next year. I want to introduce this idea of possibly putting that to one side and just making the ordinary in your life that much more brilliant. The things that you choose to read, for example, the books that you choose to read, perhaps upgrade that into reading the great authors. Conversations that you have, within every moment of a conversation, just that moment before we speak, we have an option of infinite possibilities to decide what we could say. Could it be something a bit more kind, more brilliant? Could you change or steer the direction of that conversation in a way that is more fulfilling and perhaps more kind and more open to other things and other possibilities? When you cook, spices, herbs, perhaps spend more time in cooking the backbone, the broth of that meal. Whatever it may be that you could do in the ordinary to add a little bit more joy and sparkle. So we're going to do that today in our sequence. The poses are going to be nothing extraordinary, but I'm going to suggest that you add a bit more sparkle, a bit more alignment details in order to make the poses that you're producing, that you're creating, a little more special. So I want you please to begin lying down, and you're going to need your strap. So if you don't have a strap, you can use a belt or a dressing gown belt, even a tea towel or a short towel. We're going to use our body today to really extend and lengthen, and almost like that supernova I was referring to really outshine. So we're going to begin by lying down in a relatively easy pose where you don't have to think about balance and strength too much. So make sure that your strap is ready, it's by your side. And come down into Supta Tadasana, lying down mountain pose. So lengthen one leg long and then the other. Squeeze your legs towards each other and push your heels away from you. So you're really lengthening and squeezing your legs strong. Keep the left leg like this and pick up your right leg. Put the strap around the ball of your foot and straighten your right leg. Now, if you can do this without using the strap, if you want to grab your big toe, by all means do that, or perhaps use your hand to hook around the little toe edge of your foot. Otherwise, for the rest of us, perhaps a little tighter, we're going to use the strap like an arm extender. Now push the sole of that right foot up towards the ceiling, and do the same with the left foot. Really push it away from you so your legs are a little bit longer. And as you do this, see if you can wrap the outside of your right buttock around a little bit more towards that left big toe. So you're lengthening the right side of your lower back as well. And stay here for a couple more breaths. All your limbs are straight and strong. That's going to be a kind of recurring pattern, not in all of our poses, but in many of them today. Now, keeping that length and strength, put both lengths of the strap into your right hand, put your left hand on your left thigh, slowly move your right foot down towards the right. And as you do this, keep weighing the left side of your body down. Don't let the right foot touch the floor. And when you feel the left hip start to slightly rise up, don't bring the right foot down anymore, because your pelvis is tilting and you're not adding anything to the pose. Push both heels away from you. Stretch both hands towards both feet. And squeeze your legs really straight and strong. So this is the second stage of Supta Padangustasana. And we're only going to do 2 stages today. From here, pick your right leg back up. Bend your knee enough to take the strap away. Lengthen your right leg long down the mat. Squeeze your legs together. Get that length and that setting in your right leg. Then pick up your left leg and put the strap underneath the ball of your left foot. If, like me, you're near a wall, you might need to move around a little bit here so that when you come to the second stage, you've got space. Turn your right inner thigh down towards the floor. And again, push both of your feet away from you. So it feels like from the base or just below your navel, you're pushing out both of your feet, but you're also lengthening the trunk as well. So you might even be able to move the back of your head up a little bit more towards the front of your mat, the mat behind you. As you push your body long, squeeze your legs. Now put both legs of the strap into your left hand, your right hand on your right thigh, and move your left leg down towards the floor. I'm just moving around here for some space. If you don't need to move, don't move. The right side of your body stays really pushing down. Think of that gravitational force. Encourage it. Press down the right back ribs, the right lower back, the right leg, as your left leg comes out to the left. And again, push along with both heels. Press the right ribs in to help your abdominal muscles engage and press down more to the floor. Inhale that left leg back up again. Bend your knee. Lengthen both of your legs again, long down the mat, and move your strap away. And then from here, bend both of your knees, roll over onto your right side and come into hands and knees. Separate your knees and your feet the same distance apart as your hands are about your outer shoulder width apart. Tuck your toes under. Pick up your knees just a little bit, just a couple of centimeters off the floor. And then slightly claw the mat here so you can see the whites of your fingers around your nails. Corset your waist by knitting your lower ribs towards each other and up in towards your spine. And then come into downward facing dog. So lift up your knees, stretching all of your limbs straight and strong again. Lift up your sitting bones as you push your heels down. And think of yourself as really expanding, like you're growing this triangular shape you have made. Push your hands forward, push your heels down, lift up your sitting bones. So the 3 points of this triangle are growing away from each other. Like lightning, or like a firework, I should say, exploding in the sky, getting a little bigger, a little brighter. Then walk your hands back towards your feet. You're kind of closing in that triangle, coming to Uttanasana. Bend your knees. Bring your hands one by one onto your hips and come up to standing. Now turn towards the screen and bring your feet together. Bring your hands down by your side. Mountain pose, Tadasana. Push your feet down, the inner feet, the outer feet. And then lift up through your soft palate. So that part in the back of the palate of your mouth, really lift up So the center of your head is growing and you'll really feel your spine stretching. Straighten your arms. Then come into Vrikshasana, tree pose. Bring your hands to your hips. Turn your right knee out to the side. Bend the knee and place your foot. If you need wall here for your hand, your left hand, feel free to move around the room. Now keep your right hand here if you need to, or bring your arms up overhead. Reach up, stretch up. Arms parallel to each other as best you can. Now keep pushing down with your left foot and reaching up with your fingertips. And see if you can squeeze your bottom and bring that right knee back a little bit more, but not at the expense of your left hip moving forward. Now bring your hands onto your hips. Take your right foot away. Come back to Tadasana with your hands down by your sides. Okay, Shri pose on the other side. Turn the left knee out. Bend the knee. Place your foot as high as you can and press in as you push your right foot down into the floor. Again, the hand can stay here or bring your arms up overhead. Reach up, stretch up, corset your waist. So it's like you're ironing down the lower ribs here. So you keep your abdominal muscles really strong. Press your tailbone down towards that right foot. Push the right foot down into the center of the earth and reach your fingers up into the universe. And bring your hands onto your hips. Take your foot away, bring your feet together. Now, change the orientation of your mat if you need to, so that you can step wide and still see the screen. If you don't have space, that's okay, just listen really carefully. And then bring your arms up as if you were doing Warrior Two. Then change that and turn your palms and inner elbow creases up towards the ceiling. Then bring your arms up overhead like you just did in tree pose. Push your feet down. Corset your waist again. Now coming into a forward fold, bring your fingertips just below your shoulders for the first stage of Prasarita Paratanasana. Push your feet down again, inner and outer feet evenly, and even press your feet towards each other a little bit as you lift up your kneecaps and really firm your thighs. Now raise your chin and raise your two sitting bones. Look up. Then look down and flatten your right hand underneath your face. Bring your left arm out to the side and twist. So you're deciding to turn your body now towards the left. Bring your right ribs under. Lift up your lower belly to the ceiling. And up towards that left hand as you reach that hand up a little higher. Yeah, so really strong here in your core. Now look down and change sides. So bring your left hand down, right hand out to the side and again twist. Push that left hand down, lift up the lower belly towards your right hand and reach that right hand up towards the sky. Now bring your hand down, bend both of your knees, bring your hands to your hips and come up. Good. Now keep your legs apart, make sure your feet are still parallel to each other. Look at your right foot and turn it out to the side. Bring both of your arms up with your palms down. Triangle pose. Now squeeze your left buttock in as you lean forward and move the hips a little bit more towards your left foot. Draw in your navel, then bring your right hand onto your shin, pull up the shin, and then reach that left hand up towards the ceiling again. Lean back, corset your waist. And as you possibly bring that right hand down a little bit more towards the ankle, try not to drop these left ribs down. So you're still shining out. Keep lifting up the lower belly, draw your navel in, and possibly look up that top hand. Konasana. Come back up, push down with that back foot, pull up with your top hand. Turn the right toes forward, turn the left toes now towards this short edge of your mat. Bring your arms back up. And again, squeeze this buttock in as you move the hips back. So you're keeping stable here. Then bring your left hand down. Pull up a little bit with your hand. Lean back. You can look down if you're losing your balance or look up towards your right hand. Press your shoulders towards your back foot, your right foot. And then see if you can get a little bit bigger, a little bit more brilliant. Come all the way up. Bring your hands to your hips. Turn that left foot forward. Turn the right foot out again. Inhale, bring your arms up. And as you exhale, bend your right knee. So you're coming into Warrior Two. You might want to extend, lengthen the pose a little bit here if you can. And then same thing here. Push both feet down. Push both hands away. Press these left ribs in. Corset your waist. Now we're going to change this to side angle pose. Bend the right elbow, turn your palm up, turn your back palm up, and then rainbow that left arm over your ear. Stay with this variation with your right hand, your right arm on your leg, or you can bring your fingertips to the outside of your ankle and not too close in so that you don't push your right knee over to the left. Keep your right knee going straight over the front foot, over the middle toes. Good. Now come back up again. So really push the back foot down. Straighten your right leg. Turn the toes in. And the left toes out. Bend the left knee. Set your feet up well. Squeeze your back leg straight and strong. Side angle pose. Begin with this variation. The left palm up. Lightly rest the forearm on your left thigh. That's it. Don't feel like you have to lower these ribs down here. Stay with this, or bring your left fingertips to the outside of your heel. Keep turning, keep opening, lift up the lower belly towards the ceiling. Come back up to Warrior Two. Then straighten the left leg, turn the left toes forward. Bring your hands to your hips. Heel toe your feet together. Find this very difficult on carpet. And then come to the front of your mat. My mat has moved a little bit. So stand with your feet together at the top of your mat, or separate your feet to hip width apart if you feel like you're a little tight in the back of your legs. Hands down by your sides. Inhale, sweep your arms ahead of you. Virabhadrasana, arms overhead. And as you exhale, bend your knees, firm your abdominal muscles and fold forward to Uttanasana. Inhale, raise your chest, look forward. And as you exhale, bend both of your knees and step back with just your left foot. Bring your hands by the sides of your feet and step back. Now bring your back knee down. Push your feet down. Sweep your arms forward and come to Anjanyasana. See if you can bring your hands back a little bit more to the back of your ears. And then come halfway down. Resting your right ribs on your right thigh. Bring your hands to the floor. Pick up your back knee and step forwards again. Raise your chest for Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, fold to Uttanasana. Bend your knees. Bring your hands to the sides of your feet. Pick up your right foot. Step back. Bring the knee down. So we're repeating Anjanyasana on this left side. Bring your arms forward. Push the back foot down as you reach your fingertips up a little higher. Slightly raise your chin. Come halfway down, corset your waist. Then touch down, pick up your back knee and step forwards again. Inhale, raise your chest, look up. And as you exhale, fold. Bend both of your knees. Pick up the left foot again and step back to the back of your mat. This time the back leg stays straight. Keep the knee off the floor. Inhale, bring your arms all the way up. And then come halfway down as you did before. Reach forward more with your fingers. Push more down with your back foot. Touch down. Step forwards again. Inhale, raise your chest, look up. And as you exhale, fold. Bend both of your knees. Pick up the right foot. Reach back. Step back. Back leg straight. Turn the inner thigh up to the ceiling as you now bring your arms forward and up. Crescent Warrior again. So variation of warrior one here, the back heel off the floor. Come halfway down, corset your waist, reach more, get bigger, take up more space. Bring your fingertips to the floor, step forward. Inhale, raise your chest, look up. And as you exhale, fold. So one more adding on here, bend both of your knees, pick up the left foot, step back. Inhale, bring your arms up, back leg stays straight. And as you exhale, come halfway down. Warrior three, step your back foot forward. Straighten your front leg. Virabhadrasana 3. You can bring your arms by your sides if you need to. 3, get bigger. 2, be a supernova. 1. Now bend the knee, go back into Crescent Warrior. And then touch down with your hands and step forward again. Well done, that's tricky. Inhale, raise your chest, look up. And as you exhale, fold. Let's do one last time on the right side here. So bend both of your knees, on the left side. Pick up your right leg, step back. Inhale, bring your arms up to Crescent Warrior. As you exhale, come halfway down. Inhale here, stabilize yourself. And as you exhale, come into Warrior 3. As best you can. Bring your arms by your side if you need to. Come back to Crescent Warrior. Bring your hands down. Step your back foot forward. Inhale, raise your chest, look up. And as you exhale, fold back to Uttanasana. Now bend your knees deeply and kneel down. Come to a high kneeling position. Camel. Tuck your toes under, bring your hands onto your hips. So we're doing a variation here with the toes tucked. Inhale, raise your chest, squeeze your shoulders back, and as you exhale, press your knees towards each other. Now just keep breathing here in a steady way and come into a little bit more of a back bend as you move your thighs forward. Keep your hands on your hips or bring your hands one by one onto your heels. Squeeze your upper arms towards each other. Now bring your hands one by one back onto your hips. Bring your hands down to the floor and come into bridge pose. So we're doing a series of back bends here that are all very, very similar in shape. Press your feet down, pick up your hips. Interlace your fingers and bring your upper arms closer to each other. Push your hands down and push up your pubic bone that little bit more. 3, 2, 1. Release your hands. Bring your spine back down to the floor and then flip over onto your belly. Bow pose, Anjanyasana. Bring your hands down by your sides, palms down, bend your knees. Pick up your hands, turn your thumbs down and reach for your outer lower shins. Pick up your thighs, squeeze your upper arms towards each other. Squeeze your knees towards each other. Raise your chest. Corset your waist here. Now that's pretty hard, you're taking on another thing, but try and knit your lower ribs towards each other and then come up a little higher. 3, 2, 1. Release your legs, bring your hands down, and then come up again into camel pose. Option, if you find camel relatively easy and accessible, to bring your toenails down to the floor. Thereby you're lowering the height of your heels, or you can tuck your toes under. Hands on your hips. Raise your chest, squeeze your upper arms towards each other, press your knees towards each other. Release your left hand if this is available to you, otherwise just keep your hands on your hips, then your right. Keep moving your thighs and pubic bone forwards. Look down the sides of your nose so that you carry the weight of your head in the core muscles of your neck. 3, open up a bit more, expand. 2, get bigger. 1. Then bring your left hand, then your right hand onto your hips. Come back into bridge pose. So just bring your bottom to the floor. Elbows down, head down. Pick up your pelvis, interlace your fingers, the non-dominant clasp. Bring your upper arms towards each other. Press your feet towards your hands and your tailbone towards your knees. Breathe deeply. 3, 2, 1. Release your hands, release your arms, and bring your pelvis down. Now bring the soles of your feet together for Supta Baddha Konasana. And stretch your arms behind you as straight as you can, thumbs on the floor, palms facing each other. Reach your fingers away from your tailbone and your tailbone towards your heel. Slightly press the lower back down towards the floor, even though it's still away from the floor, and corset your waist. So this is strong. You're not chilling out here. You're really working here. Press your feet towards each other. That might help to bring your knees down a little more towards the floor. Get bigger. Use your strength to expand. All these little nuances, squeezing your elbows straighter and stronger, are adding in the Shri. Adding in being very aware of what you're doing right now. Getting bigger. Increasing the power and the flexibility within your poses and the fluidity of the flow of prana, of energy around your body. Now bring your hands down by your sides, bring your knees towards each other. Lengthen one leg long and the other leg long, setting yourself up to relax in Savasana. Now, as you stay here, I'm going to read for you the last entry into a book written by Melody Beattie. You might have heard of her. It's called Journey to the Heart. And this is her entry for the last day of the year, which is very apt for whenever you might be taking this class. She says, "Honor the ending. How was your trip?" a friend asked, as my trip drew to a close. I thought for a moment, then the answer came easily. It has its ups and downs, I said. There were times I felt exhilarated and sure I was on track. Other days I felt confused, I felt lost. I'd fall into bed at a certain night thought that this whole trip was a mistake. But I'd wake up in the morning and something would happen and I'd see how I'd been guided all along. The journey of a year is drawing to a close. Cherish the moments, all of them, even the ups and downs. Cherish the places you've visited, the people you've seen. Say goodbye to those whose journeys have called them someplace else. Know you can always call them back by thinking loving thoughts. Know all those who you love, will be there for you when you need them most. Honor the lessons you've learned and the people who've helped you learn them. Honor the journey your soul mapped out for you. Trust all the places you've been. Look back for a moment and reflect in peace. Then let this year draw to a close. All parts of the journey are sacred and holy. You've learnt that by now. Take time to honor this ending, though it's never really the end. Go to sleep tonight, and when you wake up tomorrow, a new adventure will begin. Remember the words you were told when this last adventure began, the words whispered quietly to your heart. Let the journey unfold. Let it be magical. The way has been prepared. People will be expecting you. Yes, you are being led. Stay in Savasana for another minute or so. I'll let you know when it's time to come out. Let your body be held. Give yourself permission to relax. Now slowly bend your knees, one leg at a time, bringing the soles of your feet to the floor. And roll over onto your right side and pause here for a few moments. Continue to feel held. Now press down with your left hand and then your right hand and bring yourself up to sit. Sit as comfortably as you can, but sit tall, with strength, with dignity, with majesty. Bring your hands into your heart. Lower your chin so it touches your fingertips. Release your hands, palms down onto your legs, and gently press down so that you can then raise the base of your breastbone up a little more. Lift your chin and open your eyes. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me today. And please do remember to subscribe if you haven't already. And have a look at the comments and the links below and see if you might be interested in becoming a patron for extra support from me. Whatever you decide to do, I hope that you have a great day. And remember to add in that Shri.